So a question I get asked all the time is, what's the difference between buying in a condo and a co-op in New York City? So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything so that you understand the difference. When you buy in a condominium, you're buying real property. You're buying your apartment. You have a deed and you have a separate tax bill just tied to your space. When you buy in a co-op, you're actually not buying your apartment. You're buying shares in a corporation that owns the building, and that corporation is made up of all of the other owners in the building. You all own the building together, and your right to live in the space is tied to the ownership of those shares. In a condominium, you are going to pay common charges to the building, including the super salary, the doorman salary, trash removal, water, electric for the halls, etc. And you're going to pay a separate property tax bill. In a co-op, you're going to pay one bill, and that bill is called maintenance. And that is going to include your share of the common charges and your share of the one tax bill that the entire building gets, because it's technically one entity. So since everybody in a co-op owns the building together, the building is really concerned with the financial health of purchasers in the building. So they are going to require a purchase application to be submitted for approval before you can close. Now, when you own in a co-op, you also need to be aware that there are going to be sublease restrictions. They really want people who own there to live there and not just rent them out. So they're really not investor friendly. So most co-ops are going to have something like this as a rule. You can rent it out for 2 out of every 5 years or 3 out of every 5 years, or you can rent it once for 2 years ever, and that's it. So when you're buying in a co-op, just know that it's really meant to be a personal residence. It's not meant to be an investment property. So why, with all this in mind, would you want to look at co-ops? There are a couple of good reasons, so let's talk about those. One, about 75% of the city is co-op. So if you want options, it's a really good idea to be open to them. Number two, because 75% of the city is co-op, and because investors are naturally drawn to condominiums, you're going to spend way less for a co-op than you would on a comparable condominium. Your money is going to go much, much further if you're looking at co-op territory. And three, certain kinds of architecture just kind of fall into co-op land. If you want that beautiful brownstone or that charming pre-war apartment, those tend to be co-ops. If you're looking for floor-to-ceiling glass windows with sweeping views, skyscrapers with tons of amenities, those kind of new developments or new constructions, they tend to fall into condo territory. So I hope that this video is helpful. I hope you understand some key differences between condominiums and co-ops in New York City. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions at all. Happy to help, and I'll see you in the next video.